Welcome back everyone, and it's time to go balls deep. Today I will be covering all details, hidden messages and metaphors in Attack on Titan's final season 4 opening named My What?
That was beautiful.
So a lot of people are scratching their heads on the meaning behind the artsy flair the creators decided to do. I feel like with our analysis we have figured out most of the symbolism. And I also want to give a shout out to this marvelous Reddit thread by Dramatic97 that explained quite a large portion. I'll link their thread in the description. However, before we begin, I must say there will be spoilers. I'm giving you a fair warning right now.
Spoiler warning! Spoiler warning! Spoiler warning!
So let's start with the beginning. It starts with the title screen behind smoke and steam. This is due to Eren's founding titan activating the rumbling. The rumbling is a cataclysmic event involving Karlfrit's wall titans marching across the earth, destroying all life upon it. The wall titans are similar in appearance to the Colossus Titan. They possess different powers, and one of them is that they generate great amounts of heat, enough to emit large plumes of steam, that is. And in chapter 130 we saw that they can use this ability to create smoke screens and boil seawater to incinerate entire battleships. No one stands a chance against them. As the opening continues, everything is colorless except things related to war, of course, such as explosions, the smoke, and last but not least, a titan transformation. The vibrant color focuses on the violence of war, and it's a depiction of emotions from all sides and how everything else at this point does not matter. It's all dulled out grey. This is highlighting the propaganda that every nation has experienced regarding just who the devil is in their perspective and how there is a constant war involving titans. As we all know, every nation in Attack on Titan has their culture and identity that revolves around nationalism, and this results in racism and prejudice. Their own lives and the world are colorless due to this nature, and to find a sense of freedom, the people of the world resort to war, believing that their freedom is suppressed by the others around them. There is also a parallel being shown, with one side of the attack being from the Malian and the other side being Eren in his transformation. We know this because as we continue, around 9 seconds if you pause it, we see a titan transformation, which more than likely is a reference to the formation of Eren's final founding titan form, with a follow-up shot of a nuclear explosion, because that signifies the end of the world. We also see a fleet of ships being submerged in a cluster of explosions. The fleets of this sequence is actually a reference to when Armin first transformed into the Colossus Titan back in episode 7. All of this is Eren's response to the Malians and the world suppressing his own freedom. As the explosions are set off, we see a small scene of a Malian soldier using some type of weapon resembling a flamethrower or gas gun. This might also be a reference to how Zeke's spinal fluid was used as a gas weapon against the Ragogo village described back in chapter 110, reiterating the overall carnage caused by the Malian soldiers, and is also referencing you know what, and I can't say it because we will be demonetized. Isayama is definitely inspired from World War II and World War I, right? So as this happens, we see this scene repeat 3 times in quick fashion, with the word justice screaming in the background. In some way, it's like a reminder to everyone, this is what you have done and this is what you will get. This is our perspective of justice upon you. A larger smoke of explosion overtakes this scene. This new red smoke is from a nuclear-like explosion from Eren's founding titan transformation we saw earlier on. We see these explosions destroy the world and 13 falcon birds falling from the sky because of it. As we all know, birds often signify freedom and liberty. However, due to war and propaganda, this freedom cannot exist in the world and is dead. The number 13 holds many significant reasons throughout the Attack on Titan series, from the 13 years of Ymir's curse to the 13 snitches that accused Ymir of freeing the pigs to the king, along with the Norse understanding of the number 13. According to folklore, the unlucky nature of the number 13 originated with a Norse myth, and as we know, Isayama, the creator of Attack on Titan, he's heavily inspired with Norse traditions and lore with the series. Ymir, the Titans, and part of the story concept is based on Norse Jotans. The myth that brought rise to the unlucky number 13 was about an event of 12 gods having a dinner party in Valhalla. However, the uninvited trickster god Loki arrived as the 13th guest, and he arranged arranged for Hur to shoot Balder with a mistletoe-tipped arrow, which ended up killing him. After the death of the deity Balder, the whole world became dark. From this, 13 was related back to death and darkness. But there is another meaning behind this number. So according to tarot cards, the number 13 brings the test, the suffering and the death. But 13 is supposed to symbolize the death to the matter or to oneself, with the birth to the spirit right after, which is a passage to the higher level of existence. This is very relevant to Ymir, who after her death, which is said to have happened 13 years after she received the power of the Titans, she goes on to a higher level of existence beyond time and space. She lives in the world of paths, and even though the number 13 tarot card is named death, it mostly means death of a struggling period and new beginning. Once Eren's rumbling is over, there will be a new beginning for everyone around. So this links back to the final panel that was leaked for Attack on Titan, where there is a baby that finally has true freedom. This is because of Eren. However, I believe most visuals in this opening have a double entendre, meaning that there are multiple metaphors and reasons behind the art. These falcons could also be burning and dying from Eren's founding titan rumbling, and depicts how Eren is fighting for his own freedom. Now it's up to you if you believe Eren is taking away everyone else's freedom to create a new world without the titans and the curse of Ymir, but he actually refutes this opinion and ideology because he states around chapter 134 that he is giving Levi, Mikasa, Armin and the others free will to stop him if they can, even though he has the power to just say stop and they cannot do anything about it. No, he's not gonna do that, he's giving them a chance. He states anyone in the whole world can stop his rumbling if they want to, but he will fight till the end. So the song of the opening is called My War, as this is Eren's war against the world for freedom. The birds have a very important meaning as well. Be sure to stick around for a moment as I'll dive deeper into this. The next shot we have are colorful clouds, and you're probably wondering, nothing is happening, why did they do this? Well, if you look closely at around 31 to 32 seconds, you can see the formation of the devil in the tales of old that the story informed us about. The devil of all earth is a figure of Eldian mythology who made a deal with Ymir Fritz, granting her the power of the Titans. However, we found out later on in the manga where this power truly came from. If you are interested in knowing the answer to that question, we covered it and the link will be in the pinned comment if you want to understand that part of the story of how did Ymir become the original founding titan. Now, if you take a look at the illustration of the devil compared to the picture in the cloud of the opening, use your imagination and you can pretty much see a resemblance. This further depicts the constant propaganda regarding the Eldians and how everyone in the world views each other as devils. This then cuts to Marley's soldiers with their armbands in a unison march looking away from the destruction behind them and towards only one direction, right? So this scene often reminds fans of I cannot mention it because of demonetization of course, but I'm sure the editing will give you a hint. Anyways, as they are looking in one direction, this connotes how they are not open-minded and stuck in their propaganda, not looking at the direction of the world that this mentality causes, rather stuck in their unison of hatred based on fear. After this, at 45 seconds, we see a shot of 12 beautiful birds with a blimp, making 13 flying entities in the sky. Yet again, the number 13 is having some significance as we explained earlier. This is based upon the final chapters where 12 members of the Alliance remain with the blimp to face Eren's final founding titan form to stop his rumbling. They are flying onto the fight for the freedom they believe in rather than Eren's. And obviously the way scouts fight with their odium gear, it's like they are flying in the sky. Thus the connotation of the birds, right? So these 12 members are Armin, Mikasa, Jean, Levi, Reiner, Peak, Annie, Falco, Gabby, Hanj, Connie, and Onion Kapan. This is of course excluding Kiyomi as she wasn't really fighting rather than needing a safe passage. General Magath and Keith Shadis also sacrificed themselves, but you know, we're not including them. Just to clarify, these are indeed falcons and not eagles, because eagles have longer beaks whereas falcons have them shorter water whilst curved downwards. Also, the fact that we have a character named Falco should tell you enough, as this foreshadows his eventual flying titan transformation, which is a falcon itself. After we see the birds flying, the results of Eren's titan rumbling is seen, as everyone disappears from existence. No one can escape the rumbling no matter what. This may be foreshadowing that 3 of the 13 scouts will die, and this is the downfall of the titans as they fall from the sky, since Eren intends to get rid of all the titans after he completes his plan. On top of that, it's symbolism of season 4 episode 1 of when Marleyan used titans just like this, as Zeke's voice transformed them as weapons falling from the sky. So let's move on to 54 seconds into the intro. We get 10 glorious seconds of destruction caused by all the war in the world. The vocals in the background slowly fill up more and more with the colored smoke, overtaking the colorless background as the vocals say, "Let's start a new life from the darkness until the light reveals the end. Sinister faces and growing curses. This is my last war." These vocals are supposed to be from the perspective of Eren regarding starting a new life from darkness, referring back to the heinous acts that Eren takes by activating the rumbling in chapter 122. The song then states, "Until the light reveals the end." This tells us that Eren can see the light that no one else can. He has the answers and the future memories of the attacked titan. He's waiting for Ymir in the paths to reveal the light with her to get rid of the darkness and end the time loop within Attack on Titan. They are followed by the words, "You are the real enemy." This could mean how Eren sees himself as humanity's one and only true enemy. Finally, we then see the rain from the colorful sky pour down on all the dead bodies, and people who are despairing even in death, all trying to reach to the sky with their hands, reaching out for their own freedom that Eren took away. Now, I don't know if I'm hearing this, but I feel like the voices are shouting, "My war!" But it's Eren reminding himself that he was the cause of this. He is the reason so many people are being killed, and this is him acknowledging that this is his war, his fight, his fault that the situation is looking like it is right now, and he accepts it, acknowledges it, because it's the only option to save the world in the end. The final image of the opening shows Eren's attack titan reaching out as the colossal titans are below him, and there are titans behind Eren reaching out for him. This is a clever way to recreate the scene right before Eren activates the rumbling, as both the scenarios line up perfectly. At the end of the opening, around 1 minute 24 mark, we see the rumbling wall titans in the background before it showcases everyone being dead. Look at the top right hand corner, you can see the shadows of them. I think back to the recent chapter. In chapter 133, the leader of the last defense states, "We took every problem caused by our shortcomings and spat them all out onto the island of devils, and the result was the birth of that monster." The singer also says, "Children cling onto their coins." This might be a reference to when Ramsey and Halil from chapter 134 are carrying their money during the rumbling. They eventually lose their money, and their demise is brought upon them by the colossal titans. This is the last war, signifies the rumbling once again, as Eren is destroying the world for a new one that will give true freedom to the human race. Eren in the last 3 seconds is shown leading the charge ahead of every other titan and is reaching out to a light. This signifies the essence of his character, which is to keep moving forward and fighting for freedom. This message is portrayed throughout Attack on Titan with his character. Why do people keep moving forward? Would they go to war knowing the end goal of it and the despair that it causes? What motivates people to do what they do? At the end of Attack on Titan, we will find out why Eren did the rumbling, and we see he's reaching the light at the end of the tunnel, which can see as the only way of creating the new world of true freedom, right? So the woman screams whilst it showcases the dead bodies of many and the world's destruction. It zooms in 3 times into Eren as she is screaming, and you guys should try at home, try to figure out what she is saying. So now listen to it again and pretend that she is saying monster. Listen to it again. Eren has become the monster the world required, and it's how they may view him in the aftermath as he has destroyed the world. Now, I do want to point out that the creators of the opening state that they actually made it up, and the person singing is probably saying gibberish and they don't know themselves, but I'm going to use this headcanon because the manga said itself that Eren is a monster, right? I think that this opening is all from Eren's perspective as he sees the future of what will happen and what he will do, as not only do we not see Eren throughout the opening until the very end, that is, but also the fact that ending scene kind of looked like it was made out of Titan hardening, insinuating it was Ymir trying to show Eren the pathway to freedom. As you may remember, Ymir does show that she could recreate the old Titan shifters of the past using Titan hardening. More evidence that alludes that everything that is going on is from the perspective of Eren is the clear references in the vocals, talking as if they were a cryptic version of Eren's mind speaking out. Anyway guys, that is everything, all the hidden missing details that I found in this opening. Hopefully you have learned a lot more that you didn't know before. Make sure to smash the like button supporting our videos. Make sure to follow us on Twitter or Instagram or Discord. We also have merch on sale right now in the pinned comment. Let me know what you think and your opinion below if we missed out anything, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys next time.